Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the first ever episode 2 of the Game Looters Presents LootCast. We have a great show lined up for you here today. With me today is I have our two representative game looters. I have Game Looter John and Game Looter Colton as my co-hosts here today again. We're here to fill the ear holes with some great content for you. We're going to be covering a lot more about E3. If you checked into episode number 1, we dug up some gold and we found some great treasures for you. And we lined them up. And today, we found an even bigger pot of gold that we have here for you. We're excited to talk to you a little bit about our E3 experiences. And John, go ahead and tell them, what do we have planned for folks today?
How's it going, guys? It's John here. So welcome back to another episode of Game Looters. We really appreciate your views and your subscribes. So actually, the first segment we're going to go over is the good, the bad, the ugly, and the surprises. What I mean by that is all the shows, all the games that we're going over today. We're going to be grading them, making sure we have our impressions spoken to, and also making sure that we are looking forward to the new events as well as the new games that are coming forward.
All right, so with that being said, we have a great show lined up for you. Colt, go ahead and start. We're looking to you to go ahead and kick us off. What can we start off with today?
So, Dom, you and I made it out to wonderful California.
Not John.
Not John. We made it to downtown LA to go to the E3 showroom part of the show. We didn't make it into the press conference. Maybe next year. But we want to speak to the aspect of the public now joining into this video game conference that has been, heavily guarded as a industry-only, press-only type event, which now the public now has access to. So we just want to speak to how well the reception was to the public now feasting their eyes on these games, getting to play. I wouldn't even speak to security at the event if they were even prepared to handle.
We'll touch on that.
The 15,000 plus people for the lines, bag checks.
This is going to be a really interesting topic. I've been absorbing a lot of media from different outlets, just kind of covering E3, what their thoughts are. And guys, it is really negative out there. And understandably so. The media's point is it was just very congested. It was hard to get around. The developers weren't well suited to kind of handle the public, nor were they well suited to handle appointments. Security didn't handle public well as far as differentiate public versus media. And I definitely understand where they're coming from. But it's just way too negative. A lot of the feedback is, it was just so congested. Like I said, they weren't able to get around. But to put it back on the media side, it's just kind of mismanagement of time in ways of setting up those meetings and follow through. If I'm in media, which, hopefully will be considered that soon, I'm gonna go by the books. I'm gonna go by appointments. And if I do that correctly, I'm gonna have an experience that's very different from those just walking the show floor. It's very different from those who paid to get in, right? I'm going to have experience that's from meeting to meeting. I might not even have show floor room time because that's how busy I'm going to be at appointment after appointment. And really, that's how it should be handled. But, when I'm hearing their gripes and complaints, and again, understandably so, they really need to reflect back on themselves as well and really think, hey, maybe there was a couple hiccups that I caused. Maybe I was a little late to the meeting, and times before the public got there, they could have walked up to the developer and just been like, hey, I missed my meeting, and they would have walked them right in. Right. But, that's something the media has to think about as well, is they need to also prepare for the public being a part of this show, just as I'm assuming they do for a PAX or something of that nature, right?
PAX,
exactly, and I think this is the biggest hole in a lot of the feedback is media not being well prepared. Neither was the ESA, respectively so, right? But I think they need to also look at themselves kind of before they share their opinions with a lot of their viewers who they might be pissing off for a better term.
Yeah.
So, overall, let's talk a little bit about what our experience was, because we went there kind of media-ish. We had planned to do this. We had been planning to do this for a very long time. So we went there with more of a media mindset than a public mindset. But let's just talk a little bit about, from our aspect, what are your thoughts?
So my thoughts right out of the gate, it's wonderful that they're allowing the public now into this event.
Agreed.
Of course, ticket prices, they're not that of a standard convention, which
You have
is
to really want to go.
understandable. I believe the online tickets for E3 sold out, so you could buy them in person.
Yeah,
which
they did.
was about quadruple the price.
I don't even want to get into
Which,
that.
it's still understandable.
John didn't.
I did not do that.
Maybe next year. But, let's get past that. Let's, get past the prices. The event itself, it seemed a little bit overcrowded, but these lines, I believe, were just something new to the event itself, and they need to have this hardship to learn how to regulate these types of lines.
And what's funny, a lot of the feedback that I'm hearing, lines is pretty common at E3.
Yeah.
It's mostly media, it's mostly people in the industry, but from what I'm hearing, lines were pretty much business as usual. Maybe the lines are a little bit longer, but...
Right. Which is understandable. So, aside from the lines as well, wait times to get into games, depending on the game
4 hours, Skyrim VR.
Yeah, that was all Bethesda VR. But the lines, they weren't that bad, and there's always a reward at the end of the line for most of these games that you're going to go ahead and demo off.
And that's the thing. The public knew what they're getting into. These are people who are the con people. These are people who go to these types of events. It's a one in a lifetime experience, or maybe this is where they budget their money just to go to these events. They space out their time from work. They use all their PTO on this event. They know they're waiting hours upon hours to play the games that they wouldn't have been able to if they didn't go.
But let's talk about, the lines that they're going to wait in for these games. Nintendo, on point.
Yeah.
They
okay,
can
well,
regulate.
Tuesday media, you are right. Tuesday was a big cluster. It was a mess. But Wednesday, Thursday?
Perfect.
Under control.
40 minutes tops to wait in a long, long line to play Super Mario Odyssey for the second time.
Yep.
Not that bad.
Exactly.
Now let's shift focus to Xbox, or Microsoft, excuse me.
Microsoft, they have some learning to do, but I played a ton of games.
Right, and it's a little bit of a cluster over in their area because everything is so tight space that lines can only become so long before they're capped off.
Oh, and they were kept off.
So it was a constant battle to try to get back into a line that had been capped off 30 minutes later, because everyone else is coming to get in that line as well.
Let me play Sea of Thieves.
So, 3 different outlets. So that was kind of my gripe with Microsoft, but you can still watch everyone else play those games.
But one thing I do get from Microsoft is they have booths that were mostly empty. So if you want to play a game, there was availability to play a game. The other thing with the public being there is there's a lot of booths that normally you could just tell the traffic wasn't there. Sega, Atlas, there's yeah, exactly. Vita, no presents, but there was some strange time in front where you walk up, you can play the game. So give a shout out to the Sega the show. You guys gave us something to do in between us, waiting in the line, walking around, hanging out.
They are a bigger company. They didn't have the grandest setup, but they did have
Stations to play. But they're talking to a very specific audience, and I highly doubt media was all ready to go and get Stormfront. Yeah. Did they cover it? Yeah, but that's like one of those.
Also, another shout out to Capcom.
I agree. But what did Capcom do to resolve that for the public? They released the demo. Guess what you get to play now at home? You just play the demo that we got to play at home. They released that. Now we could probably talk more about companies doing it, but awesome.
Shout out. I believe they had the best setup for a visual standpoint because it was a full-size diner.
Yeah.
So he's not going to fall in love with
Play
that.
it on Xbox One.
And then Ubisoft, of course, owned the floor because they were the loudest.
Now Ubisoft was a little funny. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play any games at the Ubisoft booth. I did walk through it many times. They're similar to Sony, which we're gonna get into. Who thought
Saving
they had
that
it?
for last.
They thought they had it under control, but definitely not.
Right.
Fractured butthole. Give me some, please. Way too long. Obnoxiously long. I'll play at a different time. Not worth it.
But
mismanagement there. They have some learnings to go through as well, and hopefully next year they get that right.
they also had constant live demos of Just Dance 2018, which was very engaging with the public, and they even had celebrities come up there.
Check out our YouTube channel. It's on
mean,
there. Not the best quality, but please go check it out.
If you want to see Cisco dancing to, I think it was 24 Karat Magic.
Yep.
Shout out to Bruno Mars. But, they were very engaged with this new public audience. And the one thing that I was very pleased about with this convention, or if we can even call it that. It's a video game
trade show.
Right.
Public show.
It's more of an expo. But
yeah, expo, yeah.
there was a lot of free stuff to be had. And
so here's the thing. Everywhere I looked around, what I saw is people having a good time.
yeah.
And again, the media complaints, gripes, again, maybe a little reflection on yourselves before you kind of just say it was a nut house, which in some aspects, yes, it was.
Right.
ESA, next year I'm sure you're going to do better. Yes, they will.
Right.
But, overall, I just saw people having a good time. I think people, again, went in with these expectations of what to expect. It's a lot of money. You know what you're getting into. Yeah, I'm sure there's some negativity out there, and that negativity you're going to find it on the little thing we call the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who did have a good time, they might not be as vocal, but guess what they're going to do? They're going to go back next year.
Right, because we should improve upon last year.
And guess what? Those people, also spring people like us, we are people who are going to talk about this, and hopefully we have viewers who are going to talk about it to their friends, and this just allows more people to do that. Same thing that we are, is they're inspiring people to talk about it because it's something that they never seen before.
It's true. But now let's talk about some of the bad. My first gripe, and I'm not going to get onto PlayStation just yet, is Bethesda. They had an interesting booth setup. It was mainly encompassed around their new VR games. However, the wait time for a line not so long was about 4 hours.
Oh yeah, and I think we got there. Doors open 10. Got there 10. So 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. And I can put my 4 hours in practically 4 other lines.
Yeah. I think I spent those 4 hours playing 6 to 8 games.
Yeah.
Roughly average each day I played about 6 to 8 games.
Right.
And that's exactly how much time it took me to play those 6 to 8 games would I have even played the VR game if I waited in that obnoxious line? Would it have eventually gotten to me? I don't know.
Maybe if it was a new title, but once again, Bethesda did not really announce any new titles.
No, we'll talk about that.
And
later.
of course, the lack of Bethesda Land, which I'm a little jelly about, but
yeah,
it would have been a nice addition for the public to experience as well. So maybe they might do that next year. They might have a fully or fully functioning.
That's if they
carnival.
have a show next year.
That's true.
Because this year was 30 minutes of stuff we knew that was coming, and 2 things that were under construction that are quote unquote coming. What it sounds like to me, they had something ready. They pulled it. They said maybe we don't need it. Bethesda, you did.
Right, which it's true. But my other gripe is PlayStation.
So here's the ugly and the bad. So PlayStation,
I love PlayStation.
Sony. Oh I love it. But they thought they had everything under control, and they are worst of show for me as far as being there. On the floor. Press conference, well, I'll grade that later, but, they did good.
Right.
But
with
the
booth.
Show floor, it's another story.
They had an app to RSVP on to play these demos, which
Great idea.
worked maybe once.
That's the problem.
It never worked for the other 7 or 8 times we tried to RSVP, so there's my, big gripe there. And then, they sometimes do let people into some of these theaters or lines if somehow all the spots are not filled or somebody doesn't show up for their allotted time.
Yep, which they don't announce
Nothing's
or
announced.
advertise
It
in
is
any
all
way.
RSVP on the app. And then they also had game booths open for the public to actually play without RSVPing, but they were mixed in with the RSVP'd games.
Which it was so congested to even get in there because you had these guardians of Sony with big things that they have carrying around, big flags. They're basically blocking every single entrance.
Yeah.
So getting in there feels like you're not even welcome. You have
Right.
people staring at you, so it feels like tons of eyeballs are on you. Like, what the heck, Sony?
And an army of iPads ready to scan your QR code to make sure you are allowed in there.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, I'm passing through. It's like, well, can you pass through
A little
through
faster,
Nintendo or
right,
something?
you
Like,
know.
go over there.
And yeah, their vibe, they didn't feel like they were a presence to be messed with there.
No.
They were just very, I'm here, show's over, let's go.
You just had to sit down and pray to whomever you pray to that you got to play one Sony game. Because that's how much you would play if you were lucky, but none of us were.
Right.
But we got to see it. It looked cool. What didn't look cool was a game that should have been there, Spider-Man God of War, just saying.
Just saying. I guess my one last, bad part of E3 is there are parts of the expo, we'll call it now, that were not displayed as parts of the expo.
Like what?
There was an indie booth outside. If anybody's been to downtown LA, right across the street next to Hooters, in the parking lot, there was a booth.
Outside of the convention center.
Right, and yeah, they had a giant balloon, but if you're an indie developer or an indie showcaser, we're probably not going to know your name.
But that's what you want people to do. 'Cause
Exactly.
You're indie, and you want people to buy your stuff because you won't exist if they don't.
Right, so driving by, it's like, oh, look, a giant balloon. That's cool. Let me go into the convention center now.
Or let me go into Hooters and eat.
Exactly. You don't think that they're a part of E3 itself, so you miss out on everything they had to offer. And they had spatulas, they had dildo controllers, they had everything there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, censor, kids, hold your ears.
But it was, kind of a letdown to know that was something I could have experienced myself, just due to, either bad placement or just lack of showmanship.
Yeah, and guess what? We could be talking about your games, indie developers, but we're not because we didn't know you existed.
Yeah, and, nothing bad against you guys, but it's a little unfortunate. But the indie arcade there, very, very tackling social issues. My hat's off to them, too.
And speaking about indie games real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to... you guys are not going to like it. I want to give a shout out to the Darwin Project. It is, if you watch the Xbox conference, you saw a shoutcaster on there who made you almost allergic to the game. But, just go check it out. This developer team, they've worked very hard. I had a chance to play it. It's different. Not a $60 game. $20, $30 game.
Kind of like Lawbreakers.
Yeah, if it's in that price range, check it out. But right now, they're offering beta codes on Steam. They want people to play. They want people to stress it out. Just go check it out. Give it a try. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if it is, and it might be, this is your chance to try it during the beta phase because you're only going to make the game better. And if you don't like it, give them your feedback to, guess what?
Make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that pretty much tackles my side of my E3 showroom floor experience. Not yet touching on the conferences just yet.
Yeah, and with that, just keeping with the floor mentality, media mentality. People like Nintendo handle media well. They had a whole separate section of the Nintendo. It wasn't behind the booth, to where you could go play their games, talk to the developers. Do the stuff that you need to do while you're there at E3.
And plus, Reggie was interacting with the line.
Oh, yeah, because guess what he did? Arms line, let me go pull people off the end of the arms line to go play with me on stage.
Right.
Hashtag cool, right? So that's really cool. But Nintendo, overall, they just handled everything right.
They were prepared for that volume.
Yeah, I also think Sony, they handled the media well. Everyone made their meetings. From what I hear, everyone had a great experience with Sony. So shout out to Sony from the media side, but gosh, you have some work to do on the public side.
Yeah. Hopefully next year it's a little better.
Yeah, and Microsoft, I hear a mix of things. They dealt with the public the same as they dealt with the media. They treated them all the same. I heard media getting questioned like if they're public. Microsoft, you have a little bit of work to do, but overall, I think the people in your booth had a great experience, and the stuff that you had there to play, they got to do it.
And your freebies were pretty amazing as well.
Oh yeah, I'm jingle jangling from all those pins. I was
Apes.
a game freak. Shout out to Pokemon coming on the Switch, right? So,
But excellent. But now let's switch gears.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Not Gears of War, right? Because that's not coming out. We didn't hear nothing about this year.
Gears of War coming to Switch. That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's not happening.
What's up, Epic?
Feel the power of X.
So let's talk about the things that caught us off guard from the conferences, or even being there on the showroom floor as well.
Okay, so you want to go through
Because
the conferences then? Should we do that now?
Well, let's talk about just our individual picks for games that might have either caught us off guard that were announced. Or...
So let's do this then. How about we do one best game,
Okay.
one surprise,
Okay.
and we'll do the letdown, right? We'll
Okay.
call it the worst game, but let's say the letdown of the show, or
Okay.
the letdown of the show for each of the respective
each one?
companies.
Okay. Cool. So do we want to go through this as the developers / companies had their...
I have an idea. Let's do it in the order of which their conferences
Exactly.
went. Make it easy, make it simple.
Right.
But let's start with John,
Yeah,
and
John.
Mr. Quiet over here. I know he's just a big old salt pile by now.
I'm
But let's
just-
dig his head out of the salt. And we're gonna get him to talk here. So Colin, you asked the question,
Yeah.
then we'll go
Okay.
all round style.
Cool. So let's start with our very first conference of E3, which was EA.
EA.
So I
Electronic
have a
Arts.
couple things written down for each of these. I just have a best and a worst.
I have a couple of
Because I only have two games that caught me off guard.
Ooh,
But I'll
okay.
cover those at the end. So let's start EA. John.
Okay, so there was a couple games that
Let's go in order. Let's go in order. So what are we starting
Alright.
with?
We're starting with EA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but best, worst, surprise.
Let's start with worst, and then let's do best.
Okay.
All right, so the one thing that I looked at when I was looking at gameplay, so Anthem was something that caught my eye.
Ooh,
I think that would be the best actually. I'm sorry.
We're going worse than
Oh,
best.
worse?
We want to let them down and bring them back up.
Well, John just changed the order.
I
That's
am
fine. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag reorder. Best to worst. Okay,
remember,
so
remember,
best.
lootgamers@gmail.com. Thanks, John.
Yes,
for
provide
messing up.
feedback, ask questions, hashtag John get it right.
Okay.
Help us find a replacement for John.
Oh my god.
Hashtag new host. Okay.
So I was saying that. So Anthem caught my eye. I was really impressed about all the graphics, the design of the game, the new
4K,
concept,
yeah.
the whole 4K deal. It was just amazing. The whole new situation where you're on a planet, you're actually exploring. You have your own mech suits, personable that you just are superhuman. You
Yeah,
have
I thought that was
different
pretty awesome.
gadgets, weapons, just abilities, so you could jump faster, jump higher, run faster. Kind of like similar to Crackdown. I'm not saying exactly like it, but just how
Please don't.
the gameplay
Yeah,
is a little bit
please don't
similar.
be like Crackdown.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
just my question though with Anthem, what are we playing for?
That is a
To
good
feel like
question.
Iron Man. I mean, at least that's what I got
Obviously.
from it, right?
So that's the one question I am waiting on BioWare to go ahead and answer is, what is this game? Yeah, we saw your gameplay, but what is it?
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? BioWare, Mass Effect Andromeda, let's not talk about that. But from the rest of the games, I trust them, right?
They are
they're
established.
story driven, which
Right.
is something that we don't have in another game, maybe Destiny. But they're story driven, so I know that we're gonna have a story in it. They're showing me cool things I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, I don't know what that's going to mean in a granular level
Right.
as far as the specifics, but I can trust in the developer from BioWare to deliver a Knights of the Old Republic experience, Mass Effect 1 and 2 experience. Don't give us the experience of 3, and if you do, don't give us the same ending.
Right.
You
And
know what
try
I
to
mean,
fix it
right?
later
Yeah.
down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Whole 9 yards. But yeah, I'm excited for a new IP from BioWare.
Oh yeah,
I am too.
Now let's talk, John. Worst in show.
Worst in show.
EA.
EA. Yes.
So
Electronic Arts.
all right, so maybe our fans are gonna get probably mad at this. So I'm Mexican. I'm not gonna lie. I am Mexican, and I love the game FIFA. However, I wasn't quite captivated about the whole concept of FIFA, the new one that's coming out. I really don't like it. I played a little bit of it. it's kind of the same repetitive situation.
Yeah, basically, if you insert FIFA 13 and now you're
14.
playing FIFA 18.
Well, isn't there
know.
a story mode in there now? They added in maybe like 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah, there is. Your name now. You're playing this kid named Alex Hunter. I played a little bit of it last year. It didn't captivate me enough. Something like the 2K series from the NBA has in the past. But it did enough to play FIFA more than I have in the past. But you're this kid named Alex Hunter. You go from the very bottom leagues in England in their league over there. You work your way all the way up to the big leagues into a team. You have to keep your status. It's this whole ordeal, right? And overall, EA is pushing really hard for stories, which we're going to talk a little bit about more. But yeah, continue, John. Sorry.
So no, I was kind of surprised about the whole. Yes, it looks pretty. Yes, it's just the same as.
It doesn't look pretty on Switch.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah. So I would just say that for Xbox, for PS4 users, great game if you want to have people over to play. Again, it's very competitive. However, it's not the ideal game.
John, you don't have to promote it. FIFA's gonna sell regardless if no one talks about it. People are gonna buy FIFA. It's one of their biggest properties.
It's a sports title.
It prints money for EA. So
yeah.
All right, Dom. Best in show EA.
Did John talk about a surprise? Were you surprised?
Did you have any surprises from EA?
No?
Not that I could think of right now.
Ooh, EA, please think about this next year. Go to work. If you can't surprise John, you can't surprise anyone, all right? So I guess we'll move over to me.
He's an independent man who don't need no surprises.
Yeah,
of course.
Don't need none of that. All right, so over to me. Surprises, worst of show.
Ooh, switching gears again.
So I mean, really, worst of show for me. Switching gears. Honestly, it was just their influencers, right? Overall, for the show, I would say their influencers were like the worst thing. Need for Speed Payback. I had the pleasure of playing it on the E3 show floor. Awesome game, wasn't conveyed right because their influencer kind of messed up. Yeah, granted, teleprompter went down, but that was just a whole mess. They should have done that differently. They didn't set the game up right. Now, the gameplay they showed, thankfully, was awesome. But as far as worst in show, really what it is they kind of dampened how excited I was for Battlefront 2.
Okay.
They brought the lady out there who's going to be playing the main character. Her name evades me. If you can look it up, John, I appreciate it. Or if you guys want to correct us, thegamelooters@gmail.com, please provide that feedback.
Like, do we have an actual like new female protagonist, or are we talking about like?
So
Rey?
in the story mode, right? You're playing one of the people in the Empire. You're playing the bad guy. So the lady who's playing that, she came out into the floor. She did her whole spiel. Basically, she killed it. You guys didn't applaud enough for those who attended because she really did a great job. But what they didn't do great was 40 minutes of pre-recorded gameplay.
Yeah.
Not live. They tacked it on at the end of the show. It was unneeded. Yes, give us gameplay, 10 minutes, and then say, go play it on the floor. Give us the live demo. Give us a snapshot into it, but don't give us 40 minutes of this extended thing, right? That's pre-recorded anyways. Just put it on YouTube. Put it on the YouTubes for other people to see.
All the YouTubes.
Right? And they can go see it at their leisure. So really they dampened my excitement for that game because they gave me too much. I was excited to play it, and then I was like, man, I'm basically playing it now. I'm getting to see all this
So
gameplay.
is your worst in show for them Battlefront 2?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. It's going to be the worst in show for me just because I was very excited for it, and I'm kind of expecting now more of the same. They have Naboo in there. Cool. That's cool. There's a lot of people who are very excited about that. I get nostalgic when thinking about how excited I was for that series, and then I now know how I feel after it, right? But yeah, that's my worst in show. It's just because I think they need to relook at their presentation, and overall, I don't think it showed as well as it could have. Okay.
So, best in show.
Best in show for EA. I'm on the same page with John. I am excited for Anthem. We don't need to talk about it anymore because we already did. But oh my god, Anthem looks fantastic. I can't wait to feel the power of X. Xbox launch exclusive. What does that mean, right? Come on, Phil Spencer. Make it black and white for us because you didn't this year.
Give Phil a break.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's out there. Hashtag give Phil a break, right? He did wonderful on his interviews too. If you guys haven't seen the interviews he's done with like Giant Bomb, other streams out there, go check it out because he did a wonderful job. But just overall, I am excited for that game. I'm excited for what they showed us on the Xbox press conference. I'm excited for that. Now, it didn't need to be at the EA conference. I don't know. Maybe they could have done it a little bit differently, but I'm uber excited for that game. I don't play games like the Destinies. I have played Division for a little while, my buddy over here, John.
Oh, yeah.
But I fell out within 20 hours right now, so I need a game like this that's story-driven by BioWare that gives me more than what I got from Destiny or the Division, right? That was very lackluster in a story. You're running around, you're collecting loot, the yellows, the blues, the different colors.
Also think about the launch of that game, though, too.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. But
Exactly. So that's my best in show.
Cool. Surprises?
But surprises, yes. Oh, man. The Way Out. That
Prison
developer, hashtag Mr. Excited, that developer was awesome. His energy, I felt it. I saw him on an interview somewhere on the YouTubes. I saw him on an interview, and he, I thought, was so inspiring, and I think this game's going to be awesome. Force split screen if you want to get the full experience, right? You got to get to experience someone on the couch, so one of you guys will come over, we'll get that experience. We'll do a Let's Play for you guys to check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thegamelooters. Okay, check that out for Let's Plays in the future. But we're going to do that, right? And I'm super excited for a game to come out like this because, I have a wife at home. She plays games, but she wants to play games like this to where we can be on the couch and do that couch co-op, right? These games don't exist anymore, guys. So this is a developer who's really passionate about split screen, passionate about the project. I think this looks fantastic. What he showed us looks fantastic. His, just his overall attitude. He's excited about it. I'm excited about it. This is my surprise of the show. EA, keep funding indies like this, even if it's only one indie a year. Come on, guys, fund some more. That's fine, but we need stuff like this to where we have very inspired people getting us inspired to play their games.
Right. So cool. Now, EA, me.
Yeah. Talk about it, Colt.
Worst in show for me, EA, and I'm just being honest here, any sports game they announce, I'm bored.
You don't want to play the new Madden?
No, not this year, I'm sorry.
But they're doing this story. So, okay, so real quick, I know it's your worst in show, I'm going to let you talk. I don't want to take over. And sorry for the interruption. Pardon the interruption. No play there on ESPN, okay?
Okay, Kanye, let's go.
Yeah, but they have this great story mode to where they're saying it's going to be very Telltale-like to where you're going to do things like interact with people, sign contracts, sign deals, but it's going to be Telltale. Like, you'll get to choose your path. So it may not inspire you to play their games, but let's say you do try like just the story part of it. That's awesome. Now you're a consumer of the EA product, but it is going to inspire people to buy this game maybe for the first time who've never played Madden before. So that's cool.
Right.
Now Madden's Madden, right? I'm not gonna buy it. You're not gonna buy it, John.
Definitely not.
Football, no. So we're not their audience, but that's fine because they're gonna get some other people, and I think they're doing the right things as far as their sports games to try and get new people in.
That's true, but what am I gonna get, a skill tree to unlock new powers in Madden?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna power it up all the way and get the Hail Mary.
Maybe it could be the same concepts as like NBA.
I
2K.
don't know. I just feel like these games are repetitive year after year.
Yes.
They are, but they have an audience, and they have to have it in their show because they're speaking to them,
That's
right?
true.
I'm sure somebody in the audience clapped.
Also, I also got my hands on FIFA 18.
Ooh,
it was on the Switch of all things, but I wasn't impressed. But that's just me again with those types of sports games. But my disappointment comes with the lack of an announcement of, say, like WWE 2K18, where they just did a release trailer about a week ago.
So that's 2K.
Oh, that's not EA.
Not EA.
I'm a jerk. Don't
no,
listen
it's
to
okay.
me.
It's okay. 2K, give us more WWE. We like the wrestling, okay? So give us more of that.
Otherwise, those sports games is no-go.
No, but I get where you're coming from.
But here's my curveball. For my best in show is actually...
MLB The Show?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you said curveball.
Oh, man, it's been a while since I've touched those games.
Oh, I know.
My curveball to you is Battlefront 2 is my best in show.
Which is fine.
It looks
I didn't say I wasn't
amazing.
going to buy it, right?
Darth Maul going through those hallways looks very crisp, very clean. DICE did a great job with EA on this game. The multiplayer is what has me tied in. Plus the story mode,
me
too.
too, yeah.
The story mode actually looks established in this. Kind of reminds me of Knights of the Old Republic. But watching the multiplayer gameplay go on, it seems very diverse.
It
seems less of Battlefield with the skin, as I call,
more
Battlefront 1.
refined. More
Right,
refined.
it's a step in the right direction. But also, may we see the return of TIE Fighter battles?
I think it is actually, no? It's going to go into the space and they're going to have new TIE Fighter battles.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I'm sure,
see?
right?
I am splurging with excitement right now.
So here's a question for you, right? You're excited.
Right.
What's one thing that you didn't hear from them that you heard the last time? VR, right? You own a VR.
I do.
Right, you own a VR
PSVR.
headset. What are you playing on it? Even I can't answer that for you. Are you going to have a new Battlefront experience? Doesn't sound like it.
No, it doesn't sound like it either. Last thing I touched was Psychonauts 2.
Ooh, well, that's a different topic
not
for
two.
a different
that's in the
day.
future. You know the one that just came out.
Yeah.
But no, you're totally correct, and VR is a dying brand, I believe. It was a hype train that's now on tracks
The
to
decline.
nowhere.
But Star Wars,
Right.
I'm sure biggest seller as far
Right.
as VR goes,
Because that was
give us
promised with the last
something,
game.
right?
Right, which is understandable. But EA really killed it for me.
Okay, well,
In a
if
good
they killed
sense.
it, then surprises. Do you have a surprise?
I actually don't have a surprise for EA.
So did they kill it?
For
All right,
with
guys.
Battlefront 2, yes.
So let's go around then. Let's grade the conference. So here's why I want to grade it. I'm giving EA a C minus, right? And they might just, that minus is because of the sports,
Right.
presentation wise. They could have got me more excited if they had done it right. They could have got me more excited if they had pre-recorded, much like a Nintendo. A lot of learnings need to come from it, but C minus for me overall.
Right. So for me, I'm going with a B minus.
Okay.
Of course, the Battlefront announcement, amazing. Sports games.
Again, excited for
Not
it.
so amazing. Need for Speed actually looked pretty good too. It's as
Again,
they say,
really
a
good.
love letter to Fast and Furious.
Oh, but it is love
But
filled.
they also had EA Play going on, which I felt like was a great outlet for the public.
Yeah.
To come
Yeah,
in
get
and
hands
try
on
these
with
games
it,
as
yeah.
well. If it's not available to play at all these other company or developers' booths.
Yeah, true.
So I'm mixing in the public aspect into it as well to give them a solid B minus.
Okay, John?
I would just give it actually B, due to the fact is that they do have various games that are coming out. I do believe that EA is a strong company that does have multiple platforms, not just one specific, I would say, area or genre of the game. I do vote for them, and when it comes to new ideas, new concepts, and also just keeping up and upgrading their games that they're coming out with.
So, overall, to wrap it up, EA, we're going to buy your games. We want to buy them on the Switch, but we don't want to buy your version of FIFA. Please go do some extra development. Get something that's built from the ground up for it, not a 360 port. We're excited to play games on the Switch. We want to play games on the Switch. You're not letting us do that. Come on, support Nintendo.
Right. Cool. So
Okay.
next company.
Can I go over Sony? Sony, is that next or
No, not
no?
next. I was actually going to lead off the next one myself, if
Okay.
you guys don't mind, with Microsoft.
Well, I
Okay.
don't, John.
No, go ahead.
John, he's excited to talk about Sony.
I
can
really
tell.
Well, we'll get there, John.
Well,
Okay.
and I'm excited to talk about Sony too. They have one of my surprises.
okay.
But going with Microsoft, my worst in show for them, unfortunately, is Crackdown 3.
Yes.
People are excited for it, Colt.
I was excited to see Terry Crews up on the big screen, getting us hyped to play this game, and it looks like an Xbox 360 game. It looks like Saints Row.
It does, yeah.
Not even the third, maybe the second.
Well, Agents of Mayhem,
Yeah.
right? It's not Saints Row. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's made by the same. It's Quicksilver, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
same developers,
Yeah.
but they're saying it's not Saints Row. Yes, it is. It's more Saints Row.
But just seeing that type of game, especially with Xbox literally shoving 4K down your throat at their conference displays of this game.
Microsoft, I'm excited to have 4K.
So do I. But with this game, it looks like a 360 game.
It does. I wasn't impressed.
And you went hands-on with it.
I did go hands-on with it twice, actually, because I thought, okay, I need to give it another go. On one, I think I played on the Xbox itself. The other one was a PC. Both set up with the Xbox controller. I get why people like it.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
Right.
But it is very associated. They're promoting it as Xbox One Scorpio, going to show you the power of cloud. It's going to... Buildings going to explode. Mayhem, right?
Right.
And I didn't feel any of that. I felt like...
You didn't feel like you could lift buildings up and toss them?
I lifted a itty bitty smart car.
Oh.
Does that count?
It's a start.
Well, I threw it. It kind of blew up.
Right.
Anyways, I mean, it just wasn't for me. The people who like it out there, you guys are gonna love it. If you like the last ones, you're gonna like this one. It's more Crackdown 1, not Crackdown 2. That's cool. It just wasn't for me.
didn't go over
Wasn't
well.
my worst, but not far from expectations.
I felt like it wasn't a game that needed to be displayed in the conference itself.
I think it did, but they weren't. What was promised was not what was delivered,
Right.
and if it was should have been delivered, that one should have been a spectacle. But with what they had, they should have just put it in the reel of their
Right.
other games.
It felt like the ball being dropped.
Yeah.
But now, in turn, my best in show,
Okay.
Cuphead.
Oh,
I'm
I wasn't
excited.
expecting that. Cuphead.
Cuphead, September 29th.
Yeah.
Finally
I
has
hope it
a release
sticks.
date.
Yeah.
1950s-esque video game with the nice old school cartoon drawings, very
Yes.
interactive. Not a 2D platformer, but very 2D. What more can I say?
I mean, it looks
a 1950
really cool.
cartoons game speaks for itself.
So here's the thing. I'm not a 2D platformer guy. I'm not a person who is super nostalgic for those types, that type of art style.
Right.
How's it going to grasp me? It's really going to be down to the gameplay, right?
and-
And I haven't went hands-on with it in the
Right.
past. I don't know if you have. I haven't. I know there's a lot of people out there who have. So I don't really have a good grasp on
Right.
it. Maybe give us a beta. Maybe give us a little tease, a little
Yeah,
demo, a little
I
taste
could-
on
I
the
could
on
see
the
a
marketplace,
demo.
something
Right.
like that. It's a lot of promise, underdelivered here.
Right.
They're finally releasing it. Cool.
But-
But I need to know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Am I going to invest? Should I invest? I don't know.
It's one of those 2D shooters in an aspect, and I love
Like a
Super
twin
Metro-
stick shooter? Is that what it is? Like kind of.
Kinda, but
John, you know anything about it?
Not really. No, honestly, I'm not gonna lie about that one.
Okay, that's
how dare
fine.
you. But it gives me the Super Metroid vibes.
Well, I love
From,
that.
the aspect of the shooting and the combat of the game itself.
Yeah.
Mixed with that 50s art style.
Yeah, I mean, again, the art
I'm
style is
down.
awesome.
You're talking about the T Cuphead, right?
Yes.
That one. Okay, so I did know. I did let her do a bit of research. I do apologize for that. So the cinematics that they did and the drawings are all handmade. So it's not going to be the same digital computer-wise, how can I say, design?
CGI, yeah.
CGI,
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So kudos on that, on their performance and also on their artwork.
Right.
So here's one thing that has me worried, right? They had a build of the game. It was good to go. The public who tested it or the media who tested it said it was lacking something, so they needed to add platforming elements. They went back, platforming elements are there. Media tries it, they say it sucks.
Right.
What kind of game are we getting here? Are we getting half great, half sucks? We don't know. Again, release
Right.
something so we can play it. Release something so you guys can get some buzz going about it, because you had the buzz, it fell off. You kept talking about it, fell off even more. Now we're here, and you're the first person I've
Right.
heard get excited for Cuphead.
I'm excited, and I don't, not to bash anyone, but just because
I'm sure it's gonna
someone
be
tells
great.
me
I
a
hope it's
game
great.
sucks doesn't mean I'm not going to play it.
Oh yeah, me
Doesn't mean
neither.
I'm not going to get excited.
I
for
played
my own
Recore.
reasons.
It's fine. I get it.
And same with Rage by Bethesda.
Oh yeah.
Was it a good game? No, not really, but it wasn't the worst, and I enjoyed John Goodman's voice in that game.
There's a ton of subpar games
But,
that I
you
put
know.
way too many hours that I should have.
Except-
Digimon World Cyber Sleuth, 80 hours,
Right.
never finished the game. I should have, right?
Right.
The Sword Art Online games. A list goes on and on. My
Right.
Vita is a list of subpar games, but that I put a ton of hours in.
So-
It's fine.
One of the games I wanted to bring up with Microsoft, which I was excited for because it was kind of coined to be console exclusive.
So this
to
is a
Xbox.
surprise.
A surprise, but not in a good way.
Pleasant. Oh.
Player Unknown's Battleground.
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too, but the misrepresentation of the game being available only on Xbox, come to find out it's good, pushing for PS4.
Yeah.
Maybe Switch, probably not, but hey, we can all dream.
So here's the thing: the developer said they are not exclusive to any specific platform at this time. They are looking into providing their products to other platforms, possibly.
Right.
So a lot of gray. But if I'm a consumer who happened to tune into the Microsoft E3 stage,
Right.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, PUBG,
PUBG.
is only on Xbox. I gotta go run out and get me an Xbox One
Exactly.
X. Amazon let me pre-order it.
Yeah, but then turn around and be like, oh, I was lied to. There goes my heart.
Not taking
Xbox.
anything away from the game. 4
Right.
million subscribers.
Right, exactly.
Fantastic game from what I hear. I'm not one of the kids who enjoys playing on the PC. Okay, so I like playing on my consoles, and having that experience, and I can't wait to get my hands on this game.
And neither can I. It was just the representation was what kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah,
Not in a good way.
I agree with you on that. But I am excited, and I'm glad that the PS4 owners aren't going to get left behind. Much like we are as Xbox owners in Destiny. Thankfully, I own all the consoles. I am gifted to have that ability to do that, but not everybody is. But what's happening right now with industry resigning to one or the other, and one getting left behind, and those consumers are the ones who really get left behind, and they pay way too much money for what they got.
Right.
Come on, guys. We need to do something about this. Stop signing these deals. It's not a sneaker thing. You're not an NBA player. You're a developer. Sell your games to people who want to play it. Okay, and do it with all the content, please.
Right. So I'm actually gonna go over. So I would say I have 2 good games I'm going to be excited for Microsoft. The first one is actually going to be for Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Ooh, man.
So I
love me the Dragon Balls.
Oh, no. The anime and the manga are just amazing, and I'm just happy about that.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like the whole concept is now it's going to be a 2D platform, but also when they do their special abilities, it's going to go into a pan-out 3D.
But has anybody ever heard of Street Fighter?
Of course.
Yeah, but Street Fighter 5 didn't sell. We know what happened there, R.I.P., right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, so I was
just Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan.
Oh.
So that was one of the games I would say that I'm excited about. So please, I would say check it out. Look at some gameplay. I'm pretty stoked for that.
And I am too. Before you end on that, I went hands on with this 2-3 times. I was in a Microsoft booth a lot, and their lines weren't long at all. If you went to go play Dragon Ball Z out in the floor to where all they had was Dragon Ball Z
next to Ni no Kuni.
Oh man, their lines were
for days.
Rightfully so though, because this game is fantastic. I went hands on. I got my butt beat a little bit.
By who?
Oh, wifey tagged along with me, and she beat my butt. Definitely, she wasn't there for what I was there for, but she was there to win it, which is what she did against me. But guess what I got to see? I got to see an awesome finishing move. Frieza blows up the world, and if your health bar is there, you die. It's pretty intense. I'm very, very excited for this game. Sign me up. Last time I remember having a good experience was Budokai on the GameCube, and that wasn't that great, right? But I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. I'm one of them guys, so I like it. And this is a game for me as far as... I'm very excited.
Very.
So would you dub it one of your best in shows as well?
We're not there yet, so maybe.
Second one, actually, I think Dom would relate to this one. So the one game that I was actually surprised about due to the graphics and all the gameplay was Forza Motorsport 7.
Whoa.
So due to the fact is that I saw it was crisp, clear, just the graphics were so beautiful. It was
ding,
like if I was
ding, 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 ding. Those are my heartstrings that you're tapping on right now.
I just felt like I was in the game. The whole rain dynamics, the weather, how everything changes.
I mean, it looks really good.
It just is amazing.
4K. I
4K.
mean,
Plus a female driver.
Female?
I think you could choose your own avatar.
Sequence.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome,
Real
right?
champs, Microsoft.
You're really reaching out there for people who maybe wouldn't normally play your game.
Right.
So that's cool.
That shows progress to me for an expanding audience.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, I would go a little bit to the worst portion. So the one thing that I didn't like, and maybe a lot of people will disagree with me, I would say State of Decay 2. I'm not a really big fan of zombie games. I do dabble a little bit of Resident Evil. I did dabble a little bit on Dead Rising. However, it's just State of Decay is not one of the games for me. It's another zombie game, same repetitive situation. Yes, the concept is cool. When you die, you become a new character. But it's all rinse, wash, repeat on the quests.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same page with you. I haven't played more than an hour of State of Decay 1. It didn't grab me, I'm sorry. For those who like it out there, I'm sure it's fantastic. I'm sure you had a great experience with it. I didn't, so therefore I didn't play it. Get me excited to play this one. You didn't. You showed some greenery. You showed some shrubbery. I could build a garden, and then everybody dies. Cool. I still don't know what I'm playing here. Convince me to play it. This definitely shouldn't have been your biggest game of E3. Microsoft.
I don't think it was their biggest game, but I disagree.
Well, what was then, right? I mean, so let me go. I guess I'm next then, right?
Okay.
Surprises?
I was surprised in how bad Just Dance was for me. I'll just say
that. And
it's
Xbox title though?
It's
I
not
don't-
exclusive.
That's more like an Ubisoft conversation. which will
Ubisoft. He's
have
jumping
like
one step ahead.
more
We're gonna
like 2 steps.
we're gonna talk about it. But anyways, my turn with Xbox. So I can't stop talking about this game. I'm gonna talk about my surprise first. My surprise of the show was Super Lucky's Tale. Oh my gosh, I love this game. This is a game that runs at 4K 60. It is beautiful. Now, we're not sponsored by anybody. Nobody gives us anything yet. But Digital Foundry, those guys did some in-depth analysis of Super Lucky's Tale. Go out there, watch that stuff. They do great content. Go support them. And they'll run it in beautiful 4K. If you have a 4K TV, it's gonna look beautiful. You get to see what you can experience. This game, guys, is fun. I don't know if you know, but the first Lucky's Tale was just a VR experience, right? It was on, I think, the Oculus, maybe the Vive. It was one of those experiential games. You control Lucky, kind of pseudo platformer. It was cool, but what they're doing with it now, they're reinvigorating it. It's a full platformer. It's a little bit, looks like Conquer, but it's very mild, very kiddie, right? So the little kiddies out there, you guys can play it. That's awesome. But it has great platforming elements. It looks fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It has like Crash elements in there, Mario 64 elements in there.
Any Sonic elements?
No, thankfully. And that's kind of why I'm really excited to play it. And the guys, the developers there, they were excited to talk about it. I asked them a lot of questions. They walked me through it. I went back the second day. I went back the third day. I just couldn't stop playing this game. There's a ton of collectibles in there. So if you're collectathon guys out there, kind of like me, who you just start itching at the neck if you see something that you have to collect and you just want to do it, this is the game for you guys. It's awesome. Do not pass this one up. It's probably going to be $40. Keep it on your radar. Support these guys so they can make more games like this, because we need more games like this that are actually good. Unlike that garbage Banjo-Kazooie clone we got. What is it? Ukulele. Let's not talk about that. Can we get it on the Switch? I might play it a little bit more if it's on handheld. Just saying. But anyways, that was my surprise. I can't stop talking about it. Go look into it, research it. If you're a platform person, go look at that. Worst in show. I'm gonna reserve for the end. Best in show. At the Microsoft booth. Talked a little bit about it earlier. Sea of Thieves.
Check out our other video.
Yeah, check out episode 1 if you haven't already. I don't know why you're on episode 2. You're a crazy person. Go watch episode 1. We already talked about it. But Sea of Thieves, I'm so excited to play this game. I'm not worried about a lot of things I talked about in episode 1. I will figure it out. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to put a lot of hours into this. I'm going to go on adventures. I'll become some type of legend of some kind. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This game's awesome. Go look at it. Go support the developers. Sign up for the Insider program. I talked about it last episode. I'm going to talk about it again.
SeaofThieves.com/insider.
There you go. Hey guys, maybe give us a beta code early, and we'll do something with it. We promise. But go support those guys. Go sign up for their Insider program. This game looks awesome. I hope Xbox promotes the heck out of it. I hope a lot of people play it. This is going to be fantastic. Now, switching to switching to like the worst in the show. I think it's by far the conference overall. Okay. Right? The conference overall, I think...
Do you feel like it was lacking star power, lacking
the right message, right? In two ways. First off, they were lacking the right message because launch exclusive, Xbox exclusive, Xbox launch date, maybe exclusive. Right. They didn't deliver that message right. I didn't know which games were coming to the Xbox One X only, which games are multi-platform, which games are coming at the launch date of the Xbox One X, but then they're coming to platforms like a week and a half later. Right. The message was just all over the place. I think they need to really get that right. They need to get that right. One thing that they did do good was it was all about the games. 42 games, fantastic, guys. That's awesome. Maybe 8 games I care about. That's the downside of it, right? When there is so many games, but they did make it about the games. But the message wasn't right. Second disappointment, Xbox One X. I keep promoting it, guys. I love it. I'm gonna buy it. They were talking to me. I'm a nerdy nerd guy, but I'm not a PC nerdy guy. Sorry, guys.
So about specs or what?
I have a 4K TV. I invested in it. I invested in PS4 Pro day one. Was not disappointed in my choice.
Right.
I'm going to get this day one. I want my games in 4K. I want them to look the best that they can because I'm not going to jump over to the PC. Okay.
Right.
The price, $4.99. I'm a consumer I'm the hardcore, right? I'm not the everyday consumer doesn't know Xbox One S, X, whatever the case is, right? They were talking to me. I'm going to buy it. $4.99. It's an investment. I get it. It's a quality product.
Right.
To the normal consumer out there, if you want to win the race against the other guys, PlayStation, right? You're not doing it with $4.99. $3.99 would have been the killer app, right? You would have had to force Sony's hands to drop their price and lose more money on their products.
Right.
They didn't do that. They dropped the ball. Microsoft, I don't even know how many billion-dollar company they are, but they're enough to lose money because they get it back on the software.
That's true.
I thought they could have done right by the people who support them, but they didn't because I don't know. I know it's costly to make the Xbox One X, but they really should have chosen that $3.99 price range, or even $4.49, or give us maybe two different internal options, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, something like that, right? Now, before we get off Microsoft, quick shout out Phil Spencer. Crazy guy doing the right things in certain ways, dropping the ball in certain ones, but for the most part, trying to do the right thing. Backwards compatibility with the Xbox, that's freaking awesome. I have a whole collection over here.
Right, with discs of all things too, not just the digital download.
Exactly, I have the disc because I'm one of those crazy people, right? And if they can look even a smidge better, I'm going to go back and play some of the games I haven't touched in a very long time because I'm nostalgic about it, right? I'm one of those crazies who might go back anyways, but I'm going to have even more reason to now to where I can play it on my shiny new system. Like, that's pretty awesome. So, good shout out to Microsoft for doing the right things from the people who do support them.
Yep. Proud of them. So, moving on. This one is, unfortunately, my worst conference in the whole show is Bethesda. So, leading off with Bethesda, Dom.
So, Bethesda, I don't think that I'm the consumer that they're talking to. I love Skyrim. I loved it when it came out. I loved it on the PC. I had the chance to play it. It looked a lot better. They re-released it last year. I played it again. I had a great experience. I put about 100 hours into it. And I wrapped it up with a bow and I put it in its spot. And it hasn't moved since. Now we're getting it on the Switch. Number one. Awesome. Now we're getting it on the VR. The VR, right? I mean, what's next? Mobile? We're pretty much getting it on every platform, but we're not getting a different experience. We're getting a downgraded one on the Switch, but I get to wear a tunic and carry around Link stuff.
Support.
Oh, fantastic. How much for just that one? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Tell us more, or don't tell us anything at all. Are we getting excited for the right thing? Or are we excited at all?
Right.
On the VR side, I didn't get to go hands-on because 4.5 hours.
And the line, not worth it.
Yeah.
So,
but with the VR thing, I didn't hear it was that great. I heard it's very clunky. Doesn't match with the PlayStation Move. It's one of those teleport games to where you're not really in the game. You kind of teleport to the spot.
So you're kind of overlooking the game itself.
Yeah. I want to buy a VR. Give me a reason to do that, and I haven't had one yet. So.
But John, what are you going to say?
Since we're speaking about VR, so there are two other games that I would say Bethesda is going to be releasing. Is actually for Doom. Is going to be VR as
Doom
well
VR,
as and also Fallout 4 VR.
And we'll put a pin in Fallout 4. I'll get to that one.
I mean, Fallout 4 is I would say is a pretty good game to go in VR. Let's see how good it plays, how smooth it's going to be.
Right.
For Doom, I'm not very into like horror games. So I don't like something jumping in my face.
Well, it's not a horror game. It's more an
suspense. FPS, yeah, first-person shooter.
With scary monsters.
Yeah.
Big, scary fireball monsters.
I'm just like, I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to that, so I won't buy it for the VR.
But I mean, it's pretty much just a shooting gallery. That's what these games are. That's not what VR was promoted as. And I think I would rather have them try and develop something different or something more or a better experience, take more time than release these types of experiences,
It's understandable.
Yes. And best one I would say for me would be Wolfenstein 2.
Did you do your best?
I didn't do my best.
Excuse me.
Everyone, gamelooters@gmail.com. John,
yeah.
take turns if anyone has any tips.
I did.
Yeah, hashtag John, please do it right. Hashtag I'll host.
Hashtag wait your turn.
Yeah, Bethesda, I'll cover it real quick. I'm on the same page with John. I'm excited for Wolfenstein. I'm so excited. I'm going to go play the game that I never played, Wolfenstein New Order.
Right.
It came in 2013. I didn't even know there was a Wolfenstein game. That's crazy. I've recently purchased it. I'm going to go back and play the game because I'm excited for the new one. But I want John to talk about that more.
So the whole new Wolfenstein game, it's going to be a whole new engine. It's going to be all assisting the new gameplay. It's going to be more smooth mobility, more action-based. The cutscenes look amazing. This, how can I say, the whole storyline of Wolfenstein is something that I'm going to be looking forward to. The whole new games, not games, but actually the gameplay, it's going to be exciting for me, as well as the new weapons that they're going to bring into the Bethesda world.
So what about the story?
Ooh, great question. Let's see here. So, from what I know, at the new Wolfenstein 2...
So the story is the Nazis, they're the ones that win the war, right? They win. And now this is like kind of post-apocalyptic-ish, but more recent to that era of time.
Right.
But Nazis took over, and now we have to live in that world and kind of fight our way out of it. It's a super cool premise. I mean, Bethesda's going to do this right. You know, that's the one thing, regardless of how their show went. Should they have had one? I don't know.
Their new IPs are always...
But they do their games right. They put their love into it, and I'm excited to play this game.
Yep.
And I feel like, you know, just with that story alone, it's going to resonate with a lot of the younger crowd.
I think so
Instead
as well.
of trying to, you know, reel back in anybody who played the first Wolfenstein.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like a great story. I like playing these story-driven games. These FPS, great story games are few and far between. Last one we had was Titanfall, at least from my recent memory. So I'm excited to play another one of this caliber.
But John, worst in show.
Let's see here. So worst in show for me in Bethesda, honestly, I would just go and say Evil Within 2.
Thank you.
Evil Within 2, I would say, is not the best game for me. I'm not into the whole mystery, just freakish looking game that you just don't know what's going on. You have to, piece by piece, finding out what the story is. It's not for me. It's more of a psychological game.
Right, and I'm not into a game that is being discussed and promoted in ways as a survival horror game when it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't survival horror. It was, you know, in some ways a letdown because we were looking forward to our new Resident Evil, you know, getaway, as we did with, you know, RE1, RE2. But we got this, which was just your normal everyday game with buffs, with power-ups.
And, you know, don't get me wrong, it has an audience, and that audience is going to buy the game. That's cool.
Like, their creature design is amazing.
But here's the thing, is when they do these extravagant events, when they spend all this money, they need to get the people who didn't buy the last game, right? They need to get the new consumers. Why is someone going to jump in at the 2, right? Why Evil Within 2? It's a sequel. Why is someone who didn't play the first one going to get inspired to play this one? You need to deliver that message, and they didn't.
Right.
Okay.
So, two of you, any surprises? Good or
Um,
bad with Bethesda?
Bethesda, the surprise was that there was no new reveal. We had heard pretty early that there was going to be something new. There's going to be a new IP from Bethesda Software.
Right.
Almost everyone around the industry said it's coming, and almost everyone is, where the hell was it? That's the question I'm left with, and that's my surprise and disappointment, I guess, all in one.
John.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not into Bethesda this year. It's just they don't have the titles. They don't have something that's going to intrigue me at the moment. So I'm pretty surprised that they didn't come with something new at all.
You don't want to play Skyrim again?
No, I already played it once.
Do you have an iPad?
And
right? It's coming to an iPad near you soon.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm sure.
I was hardcore let down with Bethesda.
And you were excited for this
They
one.
were. They had the biggest hype for their conference. They dubbed it Bethesda Land.
They're doing it again. They're going to be new IPs.
They made it look like we're, you know, invoking maybe something from the past that we've shown you guys, but now another title in that series.
Yep.
Or, you know, something new. Let's just even say something new.
Even Dishonored on the Switch would have got me semi-excited.
Right.
It would have invigorated me to go back and finish that game.
Dishonored DLC?
Yeah. I mean, it's so forgettable. I think so. Yeah.
That's honestly the sad truth. And Todd Howard, come on, man. Like,
doing big things. Where are they? Right?
Skyrim. How about Elder Scrolls 6?
Yeah.
That
At
would
least
be fun,
a dabble in that.
I mean, we got the Morrowind thing.
Exactly.
But the thing is it was already out. Why are you re-announcing it? Why is it at the show?
Exactly.
I mean,
why are you showing me a gameplay trailer for ESO?
Yes.
With Morrowind, which, don't get me wrong, that's exciting. But that's what YouTube's for.
Yeah. And it was already out there.
Exactly. Everything's already out. So it was a big letdown just because of the, I would say, blast from the past. Here's our game library, you guys. Please come play it again.
Yeah.
From, Todd Howard. But biggest surprise with Bethesda is nothing glitched out on any of their gameplay videos. So
yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. Congratulations,
Good job.
Right?
But, let's talk about their VR for a quick moment.
Okay.
So I have worries about Fallout 4. I don't want it to become Skyrim, where it's being re-released on multiple different systems on multiple.
Coming to mobile near you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's coming to VR, which is awesome. It's coming to VR, but it's not coming to a console VR.
Yeah.
It's coming to a Vive, or it's coming to
Oculus. I'm
exactly
sure.
one
Yeah,
of those.
It's coming
two.
to the more expensive ones.
Exactly.
The ones that is not mainstream. It's
right.
hardcore.
And also with Bethesda, let's talk about their mods. We learned that console will gain mod support last year.
Yep, which was awesome. I played Skyrim again, like I said. I used the mods. I had a great time.
Fallout, great game. But now we have the Builders Club, the Creation Club.
Something like that.
We now have to pay for these mods
that people have been doing for free forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like with this move, it kind of throws the consoles under the door and opens the doorway for PC to come in. Because with this new Builders Club or Collectors Club, whatever it's called, I feel like console is now going to take a step back.
I agree.
For, paid in-game items, armor, whatever it may be, versus PC where you can literally throw whatever you want into a game.
But the thing is with the mods is they're user created and they're things that the developer wouldn't have thought of, right? That really make the game more fun. And here's the thing, Bethesda, we know that you can do it. You know that you can give it to us. We know that the people can create for it. Don't take it away.
Right. Which is understandable.
Yeah.
And pretty much my best in show is Wolfenstein. We already talked about that aspect.
I mean, come on, right?
It's a no-brainer.
Looks fantastic. Go support them. Go look at their stuff on the YouTube.
But I do give them credit for humoring their own show with like the Thomas the Tank.
Yeah.
Within the video. So
I mean, they know what they have. They know what they have. So that's
just
for sure.
But now let's move on. I don't know if any of us want to cover this real quick. Let's not forget about PC. Personally, I didn't catch the PC side of things. Did you, John?
I didn't really see too much of it. I'm not gonna lie. I did watch it, but I didn't give my full attention to it. There is a game that I did want to promote. The name I'm missing it right now. But there's a game to where like you're a knight of some nature out there. I'll have to research it for you guys. If you know the name, go to the Gmail. Go to the Gmail. Send that to us. thegamelooters@gmail.com. Send that over to us and let me know what game I'm talking about. But there's Knights. It's on the PC. Looks awesome. Not coming anywhere else. If you know what it is, John.
I believe actually the name is called Kingdom Come Deliverance. Is that the one?
Maybe.
It's about Knights. Maybe.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But for the most part, Destiny 2 is going to run at 4K 60 on the PC.
Right.
That's awesome. So for your PC guys out there, if you want the best Destiny experience, it's going to be on the PC because either on the X or the Pro, we're only getting 4K at 30, even though we know the X can possibly do 60. Bungie, why are you doing this to us? Oh, because you have a contract with Sony. We get it. It's fine.
It's not apparent or anything.
Yeah, come on. I mean, just give us what we want because we're not getting the content, right?
But
so
moving on.
Are we going to Sony now?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh.
We got one more before Sony.
Okay.
What do we have before Sony? What could we possibly have before
Good
Sony?
old Ubisoft.
I thought you were going to say Nintendo. I was like, oh, I love to talk about Nintendo.
Remember, Nintendo happened last, and I want to talk about Nintendo too, but let's start with Ubisoft. And,
okay.
I'm going to start off with my worst in show.
Well, this is John's favorite, so...
So I'll leave him for last.
Ubisoft?
Okay.
So my worst in show, I was originally going to choose Beyond Good and Evil 2. Why are we bringing up a title from 13, 14 years ago that nobody remembers?
Yeah.
Because there's a small pocket, a small little itty bitty group of people that really want it, but they really want it on a Nintendo product, but it's not
I don't
coming
feel
to it
any
because they're
solvent.
trying to do too much.
Right, and it's understandable. But why not just call it something else then? Why not have a whole new IP instead of rehashing this game nobody remembers?
And that's the head scratcher for me, at least from what they've shown. I need to know more. We're not getting the same characters. We're getting a pick. That's
Exactly,
cool.
yeah.
That's how I tie it together.
Yeah, that's how you made that.
But I mean, I'm not the biggest Beyond Good and Evil guy.
Neither.
I have it on the GameCube. I rebought it on the 360.
Right.
It's in my store because Microsoft gave it to me. They said, "Here, play this game," and I still didn't. So I mean,
How dare you?
I'm not the audience for
Right.
it. I'm sure there's again that small group of people. And if you're one of those people, email us at thegamelures@gmail.com. Tell us why we need to go back and play this, because I only played a few hours of Beyond Good and Evil
Right.
1. And if I need to finish it, tell me why.
Right.
If you guys know, tell me why.
So that was originally my worst in show, but it changed. Just giving some thought to Just Dance 2018, and here's why.
But they're going to release it every year. It's like
But
the sports.
here's my issue. They have a library streaming service within the game itself that you can pay for to get access to songs and past songs
Okay.
from all of these
So
games.
why the 2018 was different?
Exactly. What am I paying for that's new? Why can't you just add these new songs into that library that I'm paying a subscription for?
Because anything that has a year on it has to come every
With
year.
new something, yeah. New
So why not
items.
just Dance Ultimate or Just Dance Everyone?
Because if you have a money printer and it continually prints, you're not going to do anything about it until you run out of ink.
Right.
And the ink for Just Dance hasn't run out, guys. So
Not
until
yet.
that happens, you're not going to get your Ultimate or your what's the Nintendo's calling it? The XD version. What are they calling it?
It could be a
DX. There you
DX,
go.
yeah.
You're not going to get the Just Dance DX. Okay. Because when you do get it, it's because no one's buying it anymore.
Right. And for my best in show, I was thinking Assassin's Creed, but I'm actually going to give this one to Far Cry 5.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
Far Cry 5 seems, a little bit more fresher compared to past games. It seems
I mean, I think Primal seemed a little
Right.
extra fresh,
well,
but
it,
okay.
it seems a lot less more wilderness survival and a lot more, hometown survival
Yeah, okay.
in that aspect. And plus,
You get to shoot the cousins that, they do stuff with
yeah, you get to
themselves,
shoot
yeah.
your husband / first cousin.
Yeah, okay.
But, you also have the integration of the dog. My favorite.
Okay, I mean, anything
Boomer?
with a dog,
Is it
I'm,
Boomer?
Boomer, yeah.
So, you get the integration of Boomer. But then you can also choose different ways to actually, reclaim these towns. You don't have to go in guns a-blazing. You could do recon.
yes.
You can have the dog do all the work.
It's very Metal Gear-y.
Right.
Metal Gear-ish.
So, I love having those options because I get a little bored just doing recon all day.
And the cool thing, too, about, the Boomers, you have 3 interchangeable partners that you can do. You can change them at any given time. There's a lady who gives you health. I think there's another one who is more of an attacker, and then you
Right.
have the dog who's the assist guy. I didn't get hands on with it. I don't know that much about it. I've played most of the Far Cry games. They're always just that. They're just the Far Cry
Right.
games, to me. But I get why people like it. And if it looked cool to you, I'm sure it looks cool to a lot of other people too.
Yeah, no, from my experience, all the Far Cry, the sequel, all the franchise basically has been always 2 thumbs up for me. I like the stories. I like all the fact is that there's a lot of mobility, a lot of open world, a lot of things you could do. It's very interactive, very good stories. The last one was Far Cry Primal, obviously.
Right.
You're back in the Stone Age. You're a caveman. Hopefully this one you're basically going against the Confederate, the people that are trying to kill you in the town. So I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully let's see.
I'm just the issue Don brings up all the time, console support.
Yes.
I'm just interested to see if we will maybe see a Switch outlet for this.
Far Cry?
Considering
Definitely not. No.
Considering, was it Far Cry 1 and 2 were both on the Wii?
Yeah, but I mean, Nintendo, you have to have third-party support before you have games like Far Cry.
Okay, so maybe in
Yeah.
2 years' time will we get this on the Switch?
Yeah, maybe when they revise it, and I don't know, we'll see.
Dumb it down, FPS down to about 15.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's still a
I
nice
don't
thought
know.
to have.
Yeah, it is. It
but
is.
I had zero surprises with Ubisoft.
None?
None at all.
None at all? Miyamoto on their stage didn't surprise you?
No, it didn't. I'm just like, oh, I'm guessing they have to plug Nintendo because.
Well, I mean,
Who
they have
else?
this partnership. They have the Rabbits. Come
I
on
know.
now.
Who else would be there promoting that? Because you know what? I take that back. I do have a surprise. Where the hell was Aisha Tyler?
Oh, Aisha, we missed you.
Lana from Archer, where are you?
Yeah, where are you sitting with the audience and making it all awkward for us while we're watching you on TV?
Or at least last year too, they had Angela Bassett,
Oh, yeah,
established
yeah.
actress, American Horror Story.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of weird. I forgot about
You know,
that.
Black Panther's stepmom now in the new Marvel movie. She was there last year, at least on stage for The Division.
Hmm.
So you know,
Oh, the Division.
lack
how
of
you
star
did me
power,
so dirty.
Ubisoft. But I guess that was my surprise.
Okay. John?
So I want to go with my worst first.
Okay.
I'm gonna say The Crew 2.
I get it.
Why the Crew 2?
It's not good in my perspective. The reason why is I played The Crew before.
Mhm.
How you have like this open world where you could go, you have to drive everywhere. Kind of the same concept as the first one. It hasn't really changed the dynamic. The driving is not that good for me, even though it's a driving game.
Right.
It's lacking a little bit from my experience. It's not something that I would get into fully. Now, many people were taken by surprise as it was the closest thing to a new Need for Speed game. However, just like Ubisoft titles, the game launched very poorly and was criticized for its rather lackless. How could I say? Well, the lacking of the gameplay.
So it's something they're trying to get to come close to a Need for Speed, but just doesn't grasp that
Hopefully
far.
not. Yeah, it should be an independent game altogether.
Understandable.
That's what I would say for The Crew 2 as my worst. Do you guys want to add something to that, or?
I did not get to go hands on with the Crew 2, but did you get to go hands on with?
No,
the Crew
I
2?
didn't. I didn't. No, it was not a game that interests me. I tried the first one because PlayStation gave it to me for
Right.
free. I didn't have fun with it. I probably played
Well,
about 5 minutes. So.
Think about the displays too. Forza and I believe it was Project Cars 2
Yeah, Project Cars I did play.
had grand setups with full-size racing seats, steering wheels, whole 9 yards.
Which was awesome.
And I felt like Ubisoft dropped the ball on this one and just set it up as another, console to play on there instead of exploiting the fact it is a car game and everyone wants to drive a car recklessly. So why not give them the tools to do so, in the most realistic manner?
Yes.
Definitely.
So that's covering for Crew 2. Now, the best one I would say, as we covered in the first video, was actually Assassin's Creed Origins. So I heard Colton that he was agreeing with me, but he switched his to Far Cry. But I'm just going to stick with Assassin's Creed due to the fact is that it's a new concept. So they're going back into ancient Egypt. They're going to open a whole new world, so we haven't seen before, because I know we had Ezio Auditore, we had all that from Black Flag. I know it's been a little bit different, but hopefully I would say it's a whole new gameplay, new bosses, more challenges, all new skill tree. I'm very excited for that.
Levels too.
Levels, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited. It seems like we've taken a step back in the series to make it interesting.
Yes, and also
A step that was needed.
Yes.
one little detail I would say that I'm pretty happy about is now every time when you hit an enemy, it counts how much damage you're doing.
Yeah.
Not like before that
Not
you
just
hit them.
insta-kill.
Insta-kill, exactly. So now they have more of a health bar.
Right.
That's pretty cool. I would say surprise, covering actually Assassin's Creed. So my surprise actually for Ubisoft would be Skull and Bones. I was pretty surprised that a lot of people didn't talk about this game. It's a new game. It's kind of a spin-off of Black Flag. A lot of people are saying about it due to the fact is that the gameplay is very similar as Black Flag. You're on a boat, you're on a ship, it's the same cinematics, the same firing system, everything's just very similar.
Very much not Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, very much not Sea of Thieves.
You're a boat.
Yeah, so it's a lot of PvP cooperative multiplayer and where
Andy Samberg, this is a game for you.
He's on a boat.
So you'll be able to get on with your friends. You'll be as a team as pirates, just like Sea of Thieves. You're just going for loot, as much loot as possible. The gameplay may look a little bit boring and repetitive. Hopefully, it just doesn't bomb. I will see.
Though you're excited for it, I'm sure there's others just like you.
Yeah. I'm just pretty surprised a lot of people are not talking about it. So
Well, it's because they didn't get me excited for it.
Yeah.
If they would have, I'd be talking about it. So I'm not.
True.
Right.
Yes. So that's about it for me. Dom, what would you say your best and
Dami?
worst?
So for Ubisoft, I'm gonna start off with talking about the worst.
Mhm.
I think the worst thing in the show was the weird Elijah Wood thing, that transference.
Oh yeah.
The VR transference. They gave us the idea of the game, but not the game.
Itself.
What the hell were you showing me, Ubisoft? I don't know what it is. It was weird. It was a waste of my time. Don't show me things that are not ready, and don't give me Elijah Wood being creepy on camera.
So do you get the same vibe that you got from Death Stranding on this one?
No, because Death Stranding, they gave me, they gave me the weird baby thing.
They gave me Norman
right?
Reedus nude with the baby and the dude from Doctor Strange.
Yes, but there's one thing that has, that Transference doesn't have. That had Kojima.
Right.
This gave me creepy actor Elijah Wood.
Frodo.
Yeah, I understand you're hard up for money, but come on, man. I don't know what this is. Just didn't fit me right. So that's my worst in show. My best in show from Ubisoft is the same as John over here. That's Assassin's Creed Origins. I spent a lot of time with it. It was the very last game that I played at E3. Thankfully, I got the chance to play
into a line.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how that happened, I played it. I played it for a while. The version that I played, again, facial animations. If you went and checked out episode 1, I talked about it a lot. But overall, I was very pleased with what I played.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. I'm excited to play it, and that's why it's my best in the show, because Ubisoft did something right. They got me excited for a series that I completely lost interest in, 8 years ago, 6 years ago. I'm very pleased with what they showed me. I'm very pleased with what I played, and I'm excited to play it. Now, my surprise for me, you haters, is Miyamoto. They gave Mario a gun.
Right.
And they did it the right way. Now, it is a very niche game. It's XCOM blended with Mario. You tell them where to go. You plan. It's Halo Wars-ish, RTS-ish. If you play Pikmin, you're going to be right at home, right? But I'm very excited for it. This is a game that I'm going to purchase on the Switch. Now, am I going to, platinum it? I can't, because Nintendo has no achievement system of any kind. Come on, Nintendo, what are you doing?
Zero salt.
But I'm going to play it for a few hours. I'm going to get my enjoyment out of it. And maybe it does capture me, right? But I played it at the Nintendo booth. It was a very short time. You need a lot more time to be able to get, a real hands with what it does. But I'm excited for it. I'm going to buy it. I think it's my biggest surprise that it's actually going to be good. Maybe not good for everybody, but for the people who decide to invest in it, they're going to get the return that they expected, because they already said what the game's going to do. So I'm excited for it. Good job, Ubisoft, and good job, Nintendo, for partnering with somebody.
I'm just worried about the rabbits. They started off as a hot brand.
Did you see the Donkey Kong rabbit?
Yeah,
he's a beast.
They got their own TV show on Nickelodeon, and they just kind of,
but
fizzled and burned out.
I'm a dumb consumer when it comes to the Nickelodeons and the rabbits, right? I don't know anything about them. So for me, all I see is these furry creatures dressed as Princess Peach, flaunting themselves around. It's funny. It gave me a laugh. Right. It's different. And it's a Mario game, right? Mario sells. Mario, the brand, I'm interested in it. The fact that they actually have good mechanics and good gameplay, that's just kind of a crowd pleaser thing.
Will we get a Princess Daisy?
We'll see.
Rabbit. We can only hope.
We'll see, right? Yoshi Rabbit. I think I kind of took a peek into that. Donkey Kong Rabbit. This is pretty cool stuff. So
it is. But cool. Let's move on to my heart and my soul.
Okay.
Sony.
Yes. I thought you were going to say Nintendo, because that's my heart and soul.
Nintendo's last. Because they couldn't even bother to show up. So, heart and soul Sony. I'll save mine for last.
Okay.
John?
Well, John's been excited talking about
I know.
All right, so I'm going to go with my worst, actually.
What's your worst?
Oh, my God. But first, I'm going to open it with a question. Team Ico, why? Why are you doing this? So, as you may know, as you've seen, they're just doing a remastered version of Shadow of the Colossus. Now,
but it looks good.
It looks good. It looks pretty, yes, but they didn't change anything. They didn't add anything to it whatsoever. I played it since the original PlayStation 2. I love the game, don't get me wrong. I love the whole storyline, even though there was no talking whatsoever from the main character. Kind of reminded me as Link,
Right.
So, the whole concept is you fight Guardians. You're gonna, Colossus, better said. Colossi.
Titans.
Once you defeat each individual one, the evil that you defeat from them goes into you. So basically, at the end of the story, I don't want to, hashtag spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers, no spoilers.
Oh, okay, so no spoilers.
Come on, these guys haven't played an almost 20-year-old game.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You can't spoil it.
So I'll just let you guys play and experience it in your own hand. But I'm just saying, Team Ico, please just come up with Shadow of the Colossus 2. Come up with something new. This last game, what's it called that you played?
The Last Guardian?
The Last Guardian. Total garbage from my eyes.
I mean, I love Trico. Don't get me wrong. I like Trico. But did I finish the game? No, because it frustrated me. But that's why they're doing this game. They're redoing a game that they did very well, that was well received.
Right.
Now they're making it look pretty. They're 4K'ing it.
Wasn't there a remaster on this game already?
Yes. There was an Eco / Shadow Colossus remake for the PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't experienced it, that's a great way to do it. Go play it.
So,
You'll probably find it for cheap.
Can we expect this with every PlayStation release then? PS5, Shadow of the Colossus, maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, the reason that they do is they try to get, they try to print money and they try to talk to an audience that maybe didn't play it before. So I mean, we know why they do it, but they do it anyways.
PlayStation just being extra.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I would be covering for Shadow of the Colossus. Now, the best thing I would say, now I know it's not an exclusive Sony, it is actually more of Ubisoft, so I would say Destiny 2. Now, the reason why I'm saying... What about
Ubisoft? You mean Bungie?
No, it says... actually, no, apologies for that. It is Bungie. Sorry about that one.
Destiny 2?
Destiny 2, yes.
We're talking about Sony here, John.
I know.
We just lost a legion of fans here.
Well, I mean, we do know that Destiny does pledge its
for...
allegiance to Sony.
Right.
For those who play Destiny on the Sony platform, you're getting content first. You're getting content that Microsoft players might not get. PC players might not get it either. I mean, I guess it was at the show, so I mean, if you do want to talk about that, we can. I know you like the Crucibles and stuff, so...
So I'm just going to go a little bit into Destiny 2. I mean, again, I'm sorry about that. But what's going on for Destiny 2 is going to come out 2 days earlier, so from September 8th that it was originally planned for. Now, the thing is for Destiny 2 is that a lot of people didn't play Destiny due to the fact is that the grind. What I mean by that is that it's a lot of repetitive situations and quests.
And also they couldn't play it because of the server issues.
Exactly. So the thing is for Destiny 2, it's actually bringing the new demographic where people never played Destiny. You could just jump into Destiny 2, not needing to know the story at all from the first one. You'll have new gear, new guns, new NPCs, and you'll be able to see a whole new story.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm excited for it. I didn't get into the last one. I did put some hours into it, not very many. That grind, everything that John's talking about, that's kind of what drove me away. It just didn't capture me. I know if I stuck it out and I went through a ton of things I didn't want to do and I spent a ton of hours wasting my time, I maybe will have a good time later, but I need to have a good time for the day that I start the game and I put that disc in. And Destiny 2 looks like Bungie getting it right, so I'm excited about it, and I'm probably going to purchase it. And I'll be on board with you come September, what is it?
September 8th.
There you go.
September 8th, or is it the 6th if you're playing on the PlayStation?
So, yes, if you're playing on the PlayStation, they have it 2 days earlier, so it's going to be September 6th.
So cash in that vacation time now, folks.
There you go.
So you can do that 2-day grind.
Yes.
But John, any surprises with PlayStation?
Let me see here. So I'm pretty surprised about the whole DLC. We did speak about this one in the first episode.
For Horizon?
Actually, yes, there is a DLC for Horizon, but I'll let you cover that one. I was actually speaking about more of
I
a
wasn't
game.
even covering.
No, you're not? Okay, I could dabble in it.
Alright, so shout out to Horizon. It's a fantastic game. DLC, go invest. If you have the game, which you should if you have a Sony platform device. If you have a Pro, if you have a regular one, go buy Horizon if you don't have it. Support them. Get this DLC. It's going to be awesome. I mean, a long story short with that.
Long story short. So what I was going to talk about is basically the surprise was Uncharted. So it's not actually a DLC. It's more of an independent game.
Is it? Because I'm confused.
More $40, right? It's going to
$40, but $40 standalone game.
Standalone game. So
yes.
It's not a DLC.
So we talked about this in great length. If you haven't watched it, go watch episode 1. We talk about Uncharted Legacy, Lost Legacy a lot.
Yes.
But we're excited for it for the right reasons. Right. We're just disappointed that Sony didn't do right by us and promote it the way they should. But again, episode 1, go talk about that.
Each his own.
And you're up.
Alright, done.
Alright, so Sony. So, my biggest surprise with Sony, I want to start off with that, was Monster Hunter Worlds.
Yes.
Surprise, and then now disappointment because I now know all the news. But day of, clapping hands, standing up on my mythical seat that wasn't there. I was all excited about it. I'm just happy to see Monster Hunter come to a next-gen system looking this good. It looks fantastic. It's gonna get me into Monster Hunter. It's gonna get my friends into Monster Hunter. I know other people that are excited for it. I'm excited to play it. It looks like a new way to play. They have an active world. It looks really amazing. So I'm excited to play Monster Hunter. Now the question is, am I gonna play it on a Sony device? I don't know, because we just found out recently it's coming to the Xbox One family as well.
Yes.
So question marks there. I don't know where I'm
Right.
gonna play it, but I'm going to play it, so I'm excited for it. So that's my biggest surprise of the show, at least real time for when I was there. Now, as far as going into my best of show, I think my best of show was God of War.
Mm-hmm.
This Kratos, I'm really excited to see.
Older Kratos.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go absorb this specific type of media. Look at the E3 Coliseum videos on YouTube. The developer and the producer they're talking great lengths about the God of Wars, what they're doing with the series on this one. Basically, this guy, he produced the game because him and his son, they have a similar relationship. The son and his mom in his real life, they speak Swiss or something of that nature. They speak a different language. So he's always has to communicate through his son and talk to his wife. When his wife probably is angry, things like that. This tells a very similar story. We're in a different era of time. We're in a different environment. So for Kratos to talk to the people, NPCs,
Mm-hmm.
he has to talk through his son. We learn that the son isn't going to be this nuisance. He actually has his own button called the sun button. You hit the button and he does different movements. He'll climb over walls, climb under things. He'll help you in battle. It's just an awesome mechanic that we haven't visited before. They're saying it's going to be shot all in one pan, so in one motion, so there's not going to be tons of moving around like the past
Mm-hmm.
games. No QTE, so the quick time events are not going to happen on this one. It's going to be all real time. It looks as beautiful as what you've seen. I'm just disappointed it wasn't on the show floor.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed it's not coming out at the end of this year. It's 2018. But I am very excited for it. It's my best in show.
But in good news, Kratos and his son were on the showroom floor.
Yes, they were, and I wish I had gotten a picture with it with him, but I
With
didn't. Now going into my worst of show with Sony. My worst of show with Sony, I think, was Detroit.
Really?
So Detroit for me.
David Cage, eat your heart out.
So I got a good grasp of what the game is, and based on his games in the past, is in a very similar fashion.
Right. Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls.
I think I need to see more. I don't want to completely drag on it, but it didn't convince me to purchase day one. It gave me a wait and see approach. I didn't go hands on with it, but I did see live gameplay. I saw what it's about. I got a good grasp on it. Obviously, I'm not the audience for it, so maybe I have a little bias in that, and that's understandable. But they just didn't convince me to be there day one, and I need to be convinced to be there for this new property that Sony's obviously very excited about. Tell me more. Release something to us. Do something to where we can get excited for it. But overall, I wasn't completely impressed with what they showed before. It kind of fell in line with expectations. Maybe my expectations were too high. But seeing the robot before and then seeing these androids and different, I don't know, I just wasn't there.
It was also a game announced last year.
Exactly. And that's pretty much what Sony's show was in a nutshell, was last year, this year, still no dates.
Right.
Crazy, right?
So, you covered your surprises too?
Yes, I did.
All right, cool. Let me move on to my Sony show, my sweethearts, my base.
Okay.
My worst in show, I'm starting there. My worst in show was Days Gone. Once again,
yeah.
they closed out their show last year with this game.
I think I repressed those memories.
And
no wonder. I'm
you're just
remembering
like,
it now.
what
It's
is this
hitting me.
game? What is? Oh, that's right. And it's just like, oh, it's this game,
I get to ride a motorcycle.
right?
That's
It's
beautiful.
like the clone of The Last of Us with a couple missing chromosomes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And even that doesn't have a date.
No, but it's a little disappointment too. But I feel like we shouldn't have shown Days Gone. We could have just did a release trailer a little bit down the line, maybe at their own PlayStation event that they have, later on in the year. I just felt like it was unnecessary to go ahead and show. And plus, the gameplay didn't look that smooth as to, some of the titles that Xbox had shown off.
Agreed.
With that aspect. But moving on now to my best in show.
Okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Okay, under the Sony
bubble because Sony did present it at their conference.
Okay, acceptable.
Plus, they had the free demo come out.
Yes, they did, which is fan service to the max. More developers, please get on board with that.
In the best way. But also, I'm not a huge fan of fighter games, but the story mode on this one has me intrigued.
It doesn't have me, but okay.
It has me. Your lineup of playable characters / fighters are, your beloved crowd. You have your Iron Mans, you have your Captain Americas, your Doctor Stranges, your Arthurs,
So have you played through the demo?
I did.
Okay, so it looks like they're just kind of throwing everything at the wall to make it fit within this kooky story that they've created. Now, they just came off of Street Fighter V, which basically failed. Right? They need to have done this right. It needs to look better. They need to have a more drawn out story. They need to give me more. I'm not impressed.
Right.
With it.
Did you play the demo?
I did, and that's why. What's the little guy called?
Rocket Raccoon?
No, not even the raccoon.
Oh, Arthur.
Arthur, yes. When he comes out in his story area in the game, what is that? I mean, it's barely even tied in. But they just
you see the reveal of Thanos in the demo itself. Plus, how you see how strong Ultron Sigma is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. After playing Injustice 2, which is awesome, has a real story, has real elements, has real things I can follow, gives me real lore, and I get this piece of hot garbage. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go play more Injustice 2.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy this.
So I can see, crappily drawn Harley Quinns. Sure.
At least the story's there.
Like, it gives me the nostalgia feel as well. It reminds me of a game that was designed by Team Ninja.
For the PS3?
That's
what it looks like.
In general, like DOA, DOA.
Oh, I love it. Dead or Alive.
Exactly.
That's
it has
all
those feels to me as far as design goes. And, possibly story. Okay. Not dabbling there too much, but I'm getting that feel off this game as well.
Look, I hope it succeeds. I hope it's a good game. I would love to invest in it, but what they show me, what I played...
This doesn't have your wallet yet?
It doesn't, and that makes me sad because I invested into all the Marvel vs. Capcom series before. I have almost all of them. I love the 2D. I think they need to go back to some kind of 2D sprites. They need to go back to the 2D artwork, or at least give me the representation of that. I think if they had done that, that'd be much better than where they are now. They're trying to look realistic, but they're not Injustice, and I'm sorry, they're just not doing it right. They need to look at WB and what they're doing and take notes because Capcom's on an island alone, dying, and if I'm not in esports, I'm not into their games.
So you have to differentiate as well Marvel and DC. So
yeah, whereas X-Men, that's Marvel. It's not there. The only character I want to play, give me Wolverine because he's been in all the games, and that's why I bought them.
Why
I can't buy this. Why?
It's so boring.
Because that's what people want. Give us what they want, guys.
Yes,
Capcom.
Give me Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
But now let me move on.
That's what we would have got if we did get him. So good thing we didn't, I guess.
Let me move on to my biggest surprise, and this is my biggest surprise overall for E3. It was never ever announced in the conference nor at the show. It was announced online.
Last of Us 2?
Not The Last of Us 2.
Because they announced it at PSX, we got nothing here. Why are you showing this to us, Sony, if I can't play it, I can't see it, I can't get an update on it? I know it exists. Show me something.
But they announced this online. It has an awesome, reveal trailer using the gameplay art style and followed up with a QVC-esque selling point to have you go to fangamer.com to pre-order the collector's edition of Undertale. Undertale, finally coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Vita.
So, I'm not an Undertale person.
I love Undertale.
But I'm going to play it because of what you just said, the Vita, which still exists, and I'm sure we're going to hear about it at PSX. They're going to do something like, and by the way, here's 3 Vita games coming out this year. I'm looking forward to that, but Vita still exists. VR is going to be Vita. Don't let the Vita die. Give us more games.
Right, but we all know, just to recap Undertale, it's this nice breath of fresh air that gives us the total vibes of, Earthbound, even some Super Nintendo Zelda thrown into the mix there, but now that it's being ported on over to the console, it looks a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more crisp, and it comes with a collector's edition. And the collector's edition has a a heart that has a music box inside that Toriel is just showing off in the whole commercial. It's very wonderful. Once again, go to fangamer.com to pre-order once that comes out.
Also, please email us at thegamelures@gmail.com. One of the things they're really interested in doing in the future is for these geeky things that Colton loves, collector's editions. We love to do box openings of these. We like to do in-depth analysis of how good was it, should I have spent my money, hashtag did I waste it. We want to know that.
Right.
And if you want to see content like that, please email us and let us know if you would like to see that.
And we can even do this in Undertale cosplay.
Well, Colton can, and I'm sure John will jump on board.
John will be my Tyrael.
I'll show up with a Vita.
Or my Undyne.
Or that too.
You know, that pretty much does it for me for Sony. And now let's talk about our love child, the booth I think we fell in love with at E3.
Nintendo. So Nintendo sent me a letter. The letter popped open with glitter, and there was a little itty bitty angel that came out of it. It hugged me, it embraced me, and it said, "We're here for you. We're here to provide you the best content on your Nintendo Switch because we know you want to play it. We know you spend a lot of money on it, and you buy everything that we give to you, including Mario for the ninth time. And yes, you're gonna pay for it at 10."
Did Miyamoto seal that letter with a kiss?
I don't kiss and tell, so he may have.
But I'll blaze through mine real quick because, you know, Nintendo, I feel like you or John would be overwhelmed because I just got my heart's content out with Sony. But with Nintendo, my worst in show for them was Splatoon 2. I feel like it's a rehashed game.
Oh, I love Splatoon.
I don't feel like it's necessary. I got hands-on with the game as well. I got my butt handed to me, let's be honest.
Which is okay. You have to play with motion. Okay. They didn't set it up right. It was just so you could see how it looked.
It was the first Splatoon all over again. I don't get why we need to buy another $60 game. You know.
Because it has a 2 in it, of
course.
course.
Obviously, we got to go up the number spectrum here. But my best in show here, and I'll leave this one open for discussion when you guys get yours out because I'm pretty sure it's a hot ticket item, is Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
That was the
let you have that. That's
main theme of the Nintendo booth itself was Odyssey. You got hats, you got bullet bills, you got tanks, you got Goombas, you got the characters from New Donk City were there in that booth as well. And the gameplay of Super Mario Odyssey was very smooth, very open. And, you know, I felt like I wasn't doing the same motion over and over again when I was playing this game. I was doing something new.
It is crazy in the best way possible. It is Japan in a game. It is all the crazy that you've ever heard about Japan, all in one game. Nothing makes sense. You don't know why you're doing anything. T-Rexes have little hats and mustaches on them. You can control taxis. People look weird. It's awesome.
And Pauline is the mayor.
Which makes no sense.
For New Donk City, Donkey Kong.
I get it,
yeah,
but
you get it.
It's still a head scratcher.
Shout
but
out
I
to
love
Pauline.
it.
Good for her. And then, you know, I'll leave that one open for discussion with you guys as well if you want to continue it. But my other surprise from the whole E3 itself was not one, but 2 Metroids.
Two
Metroids. Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
And Metroid Samus Returns.
Oh, Samus Returns.
A 3DS and a Switch title, respectively.
Well, they have to do it like that. If they do just the 3DS one, where's my Switch game? Here you go, you whiners. Here's Metroid Prime 4 coming one day.
Right. And, you know, Metroid Prime 4, unfortunately, does not have a release date. However, Samus Returns does. And
yes,
I believe
it does.
It's September?
It is September. We'll pull the date right now. I want to say 26, but it's coming soon.
And my favorite thing, like I always say, it has a collector's edition.
Oh, yes, it does. Squishy amiibo.
Oh, and amiibo support. And that's one other surprise I want to, you know, linger on here with amiibos. But yes, they had the amiibo reveal there for Metroid. The Metroid amiibo itself is squishy. And then there's another Samus Aran amiibo, which is fairly good size as well. It's about the size of like the Bowser amiibos, which is nice.
It is gorgeous, guys. If you are a collector, if you like the amiibos, if Nintendo takes a little bit of money out of your pocket every month, they're speaking to you. Look into this, pre-order. If you don't pre-order, you're probably not going to get one.
Right. And, you know, let me just dabble on amiibos real quick, and I'm going to branch off into something else too. Zelda DLC was also announced a little bit further there.
Yes, it
And
was.
along with that, the Champions amiibos
Yes.
coming out.
Oh, which are also beautiful.
Oh, give me some.
Give me the
Mifa.
Rivali.
Give me some Mifa. Give me some Urbosa, and I'm a one happy camper. But that was a nice, pleasant surprise. That wasn't like officially on a huge television screen being announced, but being there at the show, being able to actually view these items, by looking over to my left, surprisingly, was refreshing. But that's pretty much my take on Nintendo.
September 15th for the
September
Samus
Returns.
Samus Returns.
Mark your calendar, folks.
Yes.
Take vacation that day too.
Please do.
But I'll hand this one off. John, you want to pick up?
So, I don't own a Nintendo Switch, so unfortunately.
John, please.
I am going to get a little bit of my piece. So, the thing that I was excited about is another Mario game. So
Nintendo, send John a Switch.
Please.
Please
Donate. But yeah, so the thing is that, as Colton was saying, Mario Odyssey, it looks very fun. The whole new gameplay when you have Cappy, so you can control, like, different enemies that you could possess, basically, in that sense, and you could use different abilities. You also have different suits, such as, like, the Safari one. You have, what other one
like
was
a sombrero
it? A sombrero
and
at the
poncho.
desert, a poncho. So it was pretty cool. So the whole new concept of Nintendo gave for Mario is it's out of the ordinary. So now it's not the whole new repetitive situation, just save the princess. And at the end it is, but it's just a whole new concept. I would just say that piece for the best for myself and Mario Odyssey. Now, the one thing that I'm kind of just upset about, not the fact that that's the worst, but the thing is that Game Freak is making another Pokemon RPG for the Switch.
Oh, I'm excited about it. We're going to get 2019, 2020, 2021. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's the only pet peeve that I had is just it's taking too long for it to come out.
But, again, they said, hey, you whiners, it's coming. Here's a guy on a chair. Pokemon, Nintendo Switch. Well, thanks for telling us, Game Freak.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Yeah. Oh, also, news surprise is that Rocket League is coming to the Switch as well.
Now, this is exciting, not for me, but $20.
I love Rocket League.
So I would say for any type of person that likes Rocket League on the PC, well, now it's coming for the Nintendo Switch.
And do we know why we love Rocket League on the Switch?
Because emotion.
Cross-platform support.
But not with Sony, because Sony doesn't play well with others. Nor do they have to do 60 million consoles sold, so I get it.
Yeah, so that was just my piece on Nintendo. I hand it over to Dom.
Any surprises?
Yeah, any surprises for you?
Actually, Rocket League was a surprise for me. I didn't know this was happening, honestly, until recently.
Okay.
Alright, so Nintendo is my love child. They are the thing I'm most nostalgic for. I collect for Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I'm not only Nintendo, I love all video games, but Nintendo always has my heart. This year, they hit me with the biggest surprise, which we've already talked on, but I'm going to talk about it even more, which is the Metroid series, but specifically Samus Returns. I'm so excited for this. This is a remake of the Game Boy Color game, which was a weird game that was in that green color. If you ever try to play it, you can. If you look at comparison videos, you'll be like, what the heck? It's like green with black little blobs everywhere. They are redoing it, and they're redoing it right. There's the people who are remaking it are called Mercury Studios. They have done like the Castlevania series on the 3DS before. They are now working on Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS. They're doing it right. One of the things that they showed off was gameplay in the treehouse. They showed off gameplay of it. They have a great new mechanic, which is like a block mechanic. So I don't know if you watched the gameplay at all. But Samus can do this like little block thing to where like it's like a little shield that comes out. It's a brand new mechanic. She can get on ledges. She looks a little skinny, but that's done for the right. That's the art style that they chose. This game just looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. September 15th. I'm excited for it. It's by far my biggest surprise, and I'm just excited that it's coming so soon. And I was so excited to see that it looks like it's almost done. The developer did say that right now they're pretty much like in a polish stage or something like of that nature, which basically means it's done. So from June to September, they're just polishing the game, which is awesome, which means Nintendo is always going to do it right, and we're going to get an awesome polished game. This is going to be awesome. And Metroid Prime 4, again, that's great. We just know it's coming. Definitely a lot of Photoshop in their work, but that's all cool. We're getting it. Worst in show for a Nintendo, was a game I was excited for until I saw it, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Really? It looked really good to me.
I was really excited for it. They have a very specific art style that they chose within. I thought it was cute until you actually see it up close. When you see it up close, it's kind of a head scratcher. I don't know if it's a game I want to play. They need to show me something a little different. They showed a lot of gameplay on the treehouse. It just, like, I immediately looked away. It just didn't captivate me. I have Xenoblade, the X, Chronicles X on the Wii U. That one tried to look realistic and pretty. I thought it was going to be more of an extension of that. This one, it's different.
Back to more, like, anime.
I was very disappointed with it. But hopefully they show me something more, and hopefully this is a game I can get excited for. My best in show, obviously, has to be Super Mario Odyssey. It's probably the best, weirdest thing I've touched in a very long time. Last thing of this caliber was a Galaxy, or was a Super Mario Sunshine.
I was about to say Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine is probably one of my favorite games. It was one of my favorite games on the GameCube. This is more of the same, with more characters that have more personality. That's something that Sunshine was lacking. I'm really looking forward to this game. The levels, they say, are up to 60 moons, which is crazy. It's another collectathon. They're doing the right things. They're making the right moves. This year alone, we're getting the Zeldas, the Splatoons, the ARMS. We're getting this Mario game. Xenoblade might come out this year. Fire Emblem. I mean, this is the gear to own a Switch. Maybe not right now, unless you're one of us crazy people. But come the end of the year, when you get this for Christmas, you're getting it with a library that is expansive, and you're gonna have fun on it.
Right.
And that's awesome for that kid who this is their first introduction to Nintendo.
Or first introduction to Mario.
Exactly. Like, ours was these great experiences, these historic, monumental game-changing games like the Super Mario Brothers and things like that. And we're getting another game like that. It's a game changer, and that's exciting. Good job, Nintendo. I give you an A overall as far as how you handle the conference, how
you handle the showroom floor,
how you handle the direct, the showroom floor, everything. Best in show for me was Nintendo by far.
Obviously. There's no, other decision to make there. It's unanimous. It has to be Nintendo. They were just prepared. Granted, do I wish they would actually be there and do an actual conference and not a direct? Yes. But regardless, the product delivery is still that of excellency.
And alright guys, so that is our breakdown of all the conferences. That is the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the surprising.
And the surprising. And there was a lot of them. Not as many as we would have liked to have seen. Red Dead, where are you at? Things of that nature. It's fine. Halo 6, give us something. Halo Wars DLC, blah.
Halo Wars 2 just shoved down our throats.
Oh yeah, I mean, I see the effort, but you need to try harder. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this week. Like, subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, email us at thegamelooters@gmail.com. We ran very long today, but we wanted to go in depth with every single conference, every single developer, every single big name out there, which we did. Please email us again, thegamelooters@gmail.com, if you want to see content long like this. If you want to see it shorter like the one we've done in the past. We just want to fill those ear holes with sweet words over here by Mr. John, Mr. Colton, and myself, Dominic. Again, thank you. Like, subscribe. We're out.
Bye.
Bye.